Hi, so today was really fun. I had another organized trip with a bunch of exchange students today, and so I woke up at like 8 and went to the train station where we met up with some other people who live in Jerez and then also some people who live in Sevilla and Cadiz, and no, not Cadiz, San Fernando. And my local coordinator had booked a bus to take us all to Ronda and Setenil. And so like we waited at the train station to get on the bus, and then we got on the bus and there were like 50 to 70 of us, I don't know how many, and I rode the bus next to Amalia, and we just kind of talked the whole time, 2 hours to Ronda. And I was so tired, oh my gosh, because last night I only got 8 hours sleep because I had to wake up at 8. So I mean, 8 hours isn't horrible, but it's also not great, and so I was really tired because the bus was lulling me to sleep. Then also I was kind of car sick, which sucked. And then we got to Ronda, and we all like walked a little bit through the town to get to this bridge, and then we like took pictures of the bridge, and then the group broke off into the big group broke off into little groups, and so then me, Amalia, Valeria, Nella, and 2 German girls were together for a little bit, and we walked around and took some pictures, and it's all so pretty. That city is so pretty. And then Amalia and I kind of left on our own, and we're walking around a little bit, and then we ran into a different group, and so we joined them. And then I was talking mostly with Amalia and Maya. Maya is another American from Colorado. And so we were walking around, checking out the souvenir shops. We got lunch, and I talked to this Canadian guy too. And then we went to a souvenir shop, and I got, oh my gosh, this souvenir shop is the most reasonable souvenir shop I've ever seen in my entire life. I got two things for my friends, like one for one friend, one for another, for €2. €1 each. That's like, I'm so impressed. Wow, thank you. Actually, a reasonable price. Oh my gosh. And like Amalia got a shirt for less than €9. Like, that's pretty good. And then we were walking around, and we went to this lookout. We went to a lookout, I think. And there was a ledge, and so me, Maya, and Amalia sat on the ledge and took some pictures and chatted for like a solid hour or maybe even more. And it was really nice. It was really fun. And then so that was nice. And then we walked around a little bit more, and then went back to meet up with everyone, the big group at the bus at 3:30. And then we rode half an hour to Setenil, and Amalia and I walked around with this Kiwi girl, from New Zealand, and we walked around for an hour or hour and a half, and oh my gosh, Setenil is so hilly, and it was weirdly deserted. There were some people, but really not many people, and the city center didn't have any shops. It was just kind of housing, I think. And so we were walking around, and it was pretty, but it was weird, going from Ronda, which is super touristy, to Setenil, which is not at all, which is quieter. It was a big jump, but it was cool. It was pretty. And then we got back on the bus, and it was 2 hours back home, and I sat next to Amalia again, and we were talking for an hour, and then we played cards for half an hour, and it was fun. It was funny. And then we got back to the train station in Jerez, and Nella and I caught line 7, because that is the one line that is within, the bus stop is 5 minutes from our house instead of 15 minutes, all of the other ones. And so 7 is kind of short. It only goes basically to the train station, and it doesn't come very often. So even when we go to the train station, we usually can't take line 7 because it's not at the right time, but today it worked out perfectly. And so we took line 7 back home, walked 5 minutes back home, and then had dinner. I took a shower, and then I posted an Instagram post, which took a surprisingly long amount of time. And then I am recording this, and then I'll call my family because it's Saturday, so time to call my family, and then get ready for bed, and then go to bed, hopefully at a somewhat reasonable time, because I can't sleep in a lot again tomorrow, because I'm getting breakfast with Spanish friends tomorrow, at 10. So that'll be really fun, but it kind of stops me from sleeping in as late as I would want. But that's okay. And oh my gosh, can we talk about how crazy it was having a 3-day week last week? Like, that's crazy. I don't know if I've ever had a 3-day week. I probably have, but only like twice. I literally had school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's so weird. Okay, but yeah, I think that was my day. Hey guys, so today was like kind of a boring, kind of a nice, it was a day. I don't know how to describe it. But I woke up at like 10, so I finally slept in because last week, I don't know why, I kept waking up before my alarm and it was so annoying. But today, I woke up early and then was able to sleep a little bit more, so that was really nice. And my breakfast plans got canceled last night, which is so sad. Well, technically they got postponed, but I don't trust that they won't get postponed again next week because Spanish people are kind of really unreliable when it comes to planning. But yeah, so I did not have breakfast plans today, unfortunately. And so I just got up and made myself baked oats, of course. And then I edited. It took a while to edit yesterday's video because there were so many pictures and stuff. But I had the time, so it was totally fine. And then I stripped the bed and swept the floor and cleaned the bathroom, or my chores in the bathroom. And then I worked a little bit on my English slideshow for Thanksgiving, for not this coming week, but the week after. And then after that, I went downstairs for lunch, and they always have a movie going on. They always have some sort of TV on during all the meals. And today, they started Divergent, and I've read the Divergent book, and I've been kind of meaning to watch the movie, but also, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I probably wouldn't choose to watch it because there are so many other movies, so many options, but they were playing it, so I was like, okay, I'll stay and watch it, because I had no plans for the rest of the day, and so I stayed and watched the entire thing, and knitted. I got so much knitting done. I probably knitted 20 rows, maybe more, I don't know. No, 20. I don't know. I knitted a lot. And watched Divergent in Spanish, and it was really good. It probably would have been better in English, but I still liked it in Spanish. And then I went upstairs, got changed for a jog, and I went out on a jog with Nella. It was intervals again, and my face was so red. Guys, this picture right here is why running is fun on your own, but it's not fun if someone were to make you, it wouldn't be fun if someone were to make you run in class, because could you imagine having that red of a face and that shiny and greasy looking in class? No thank you. So I'm so glad we're done with endurance training at school, because no. And so I came back from the run, showered really quick, and then I called Yulet, my friend from Germany, and it was so fun to catch up with her, and we really want to go visit each other sometime, and so maybe she'll come during the summer, and maybe I'll go during the winter. We'll have to see. But it was so fun to catch up with her, and so I talked to her for a little bit over an hour, but then we had to hang up because I had plans to call my parents at 8 to talk about summer Stanford camp stuff. And so I talked to them for like half an hour or 45 minutes, and then I was called down to dinner. And dinner was fine. I had dinner, and then I came upstairs, and I'm recording this, and then I'll get ready for bed and go to bed. It's pretty early. It's only 9:30, but I'm pretty tired already, so I'll probably try to go to bed early tonight. But yeah, that was just my very nothing much happened. Yeah, that was my very uneventful day. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was a pretty uneventful day again. I woke up, got a ride from my friend again. Her name is Valeria. So I got a ride from Valeria, well, really her dad. And then he dropped me, Valeria, and Valeria's sister off at school. And then my first class of the day was Lengua, and it was kind of boring. And then after that was PE and so we moved on from endurance, and now we're on strength training. And today was leg day. It was leg day, but they don't have any weights, and so we literally used our backpacks as weights, which is like stupid. I literally have to weigh my backpack to see how much I was squatting. It's so, oh my gosh. And then also, so our first exercise was split squats, but really it's lunges. And so every time he said split squat, he didn't say split squat, he said split squat, because Spanish accent. And I know it's just his accent and I shouldn't make fun of him, but you have to understand, he is such a serious person. He always has a straight face, and he's always okay, blah, 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 very important, serious, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, and now we're going to do a split squat. It's oh my gosh, you're so serious, and it's so funny because that's just how they say it, but it's I don't know, it was great. And so every time he said a split squat, I started laughing. I couldn't help it, or not laughing, but smiling, but I don't think he noticed. So, and then so we had leg day, and now I'm a little bit scared for tomorrow because I didn't go running today, but I'm going tomorrow, and I'm a little scared that my legs are gonna be dead, but at least I have a recovery run tomorrow, so it shouldn't be too bad, I hope. And then after that was chem, and it was fine. I don't know, it was boring. And then after that was recreo, and I spent it with Valeria, Olga, and Carmen, because Olga and Carmen are Valeria's friends. And it was cool, but I didn't talk much. But maybe tomorrow I'll talk more. We'll see. And then after that was English, and they had an English test, which I didn't have to do. And so I just had free time, and I tried doing chem, but I don't understand it, so I'm just going to wait until she does the problem on the board tomorrow. And then I had 45 minutes left with nothing to do, and so I just pulled out my phone and was reading behind my notebook. I had my notebook open, instead of having one side folded under, so it's takes up less room, I had them both next to each other with one side folded up. And so I had my phone here, and I was and she was over there, and so I was reading my notebook, but really I was reading, but I'm reading a book. I'm not actually doing anything wrong. I know technically phones are against the rules, but I'm not watching YouTube or anything. I'm not cheating because there's nothing to cheat on. I'm just reading. It's fine, I think. And so I read for a while, and then class ended, and then was philosophy. And philosophy was actually really interesting. We were talking about materialists versus immaterialists, or idealists. So materialists believe that everything that exists is a material, you can touch it. And then idealists believe that although materials exist, the truer existence is or the things that exist more, or like a truer existence, I think that's what I just said, are like things you can't touch, like your mind or your soul, or so they either believe that, or they believe that all of like this stuff isn't real, and the only real things are the things you can't touch, like your mind and your soul. And so it was so interesting, it was so interesting. If between those two, I'm definitely a materialist, but then honestly, I'm probably somewhere in between the two, closer to materialist, but still, because I think maybe your mind is a thing, it's not, I understand that technically it's just your brain, but I still think that the mind is a little bit different. And so I'm mostly materialist with a little bit of the idealist. But it's so interesting because Plato was one of the main idealists, and he believes that there are two worlds, I can't remember what they're called, basically the real world and the ideal world. And he believes that everything in the real world is an imperfect copy of the things in the ideal world. And so everything that we see in this world isn't as real as the stuff in the ideal world, because it's all an imperfect copy. And then the only way to get to that ideal world is to die. So, yeah. But I definitely don't agree with that. But it was so interesting to learn about. And my teacher's really good at lecturing. So, yeah. And then after that, my last class of the day was technology, and it was a learning heavy period, but it wasn't actually that bad. But yeah, I don't know, it was kind of boring. Well, it was kind of boring. And then after class, or after school, I met up with Valeria and her sister Alejandra, and got a ride back home. And then I had lunch. It was pasta, because Monday is pasta. And then I went upstairs, and I didn't have any homework to do, actually. And so I was on my phone for 45 minutes, and then I edited, and then took a look at the lengua homework I'm gonna have to do this week. And then I called my mom for an hour because I had nothing else to do, and she was available, so why not chat? And then after that, I came back inside and I knitted for a while and listened to my audiobook. I'm reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, or The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I love the book so much. It's so good. I read it for 2 or 3 days, and I'm already halfway through the book. It's really good. Would recommend. And then I got ready for I washed my face, and then I went down, and I went down at 8:30, fully expecting dinner wouldn't be ready for half an hour. But then we had dinner really early today. We sat down at 8:45. I was okay, interesting. And so we had dinner, and then I came upstairs, and I'm recording this, and then I want to watch a YouTube video, and then I'll get ready for bed and go to bed. And it's again only 9:30. So we'll see if I can. I'll try to go to bed early again today, because I don't know why, but I keep waking up before I have to. Today, I probably woke up at least half an hour, but maybe more an hour before I had to, and was just on and off sleep. But I don't know why. Why would I be up before 7:10? It's kind of annoying. But yeah, so I'll go to bed a little bit early. And then also, I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with peanut butter now, because I got this all natural peanut butter where I think literally the only ingredient is peanuts. There's no added sugar, there's no unnecessary ingredients, and so it's really natural, and you can taste that it's good quality. And it's not a super strong flavor, which I kind of like, because peanut butter can sometimes be overpowering. But it's really good. I have it with apples and in my baked oats, and it's really good. And sometimes if I have chocolate, then I'll dip the chocolate in the peanut butter, and it's so good. And I think I've found a new obsession. But peanut butter isn't super unhealthy, right? I think it's fine. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was a pretty good day. I woke up, got ready for the day. Again, I woke up before my alarm. I'm not sure what's up? But at least today I fell into like a little bit of a deeper sleep than yesterday after I woke up, so I guess that was better. But I woke up, got ready for the day, and I think from now on Valeria is just gonna drive me every day because it's nice hanging out with her and like talking to her family and everything. And so yeah, so I got a ride from them and then got to school, and my first class of the day was dibujo. And it's like kind of a lot because my teacher is going to be gone for like a solid 2 weeks or more, and so he's trying to teach us everything that he can before he leaves, and then we'll just have to do all of the work on our own. And so I don't know how that's going to work because it's going to be really hard. But yeah, today was a little bit crazy in dibujo. And then was philosophy, and philosophy is like moving up in my rank of favorite class. Like, it's pretty high up there. Like, I really enjoy philosophy. It's just so interesting hearing her like talk about all these different things. And like today I didn't understand something while they read it, like, you know, because you read through the notes and then she stops you and then like explains it. And so this person was reading through the notes and I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what they just said. Like, it was so confusing. And so I look up and I make eye contact with her and I'm like, help me. Like, I have no idea what just happened. And she looks at me, she's like, oh my god, Kayla, your face. And so then of course everyone turns around to me, but by now I'm used to it because like they always call out the people who like are like look funny, I guess. And so, but then she explained it, and after she explained it, it totally made sense. And so she's really good at explaining, and she's really good at like lecturing. I really like her. I know I said I kind of hated her before, but I've gotten over that now. And then after philosophy was English, and English was pretty boring because I didn't have any other schoolwork to do, and I couldn't take out my phone and read because she was actually teaching, and so I had to pay attention, and it was boring. But then was recreo, and I spent it with Valeria and Olga because Carmen wasn't there today. But it was really nice. I talked a lot more today than yesterday. And then after that was math, and math was pretty boring. It was pretty boring because at least the other units we were always doing problems in class, but now this unit he's doing more teaching as opposed to actual practicing, and so I'm just sitting there like, what do I do? But it's okay, I guess. And then after math was chem, and chem was kind of boring. Honestly, my entire day after recreo was kind of boring, but we did practice problems, but I worked ahead because I wanted to see if I could do them myself, you know, and I could. I had the test on Friday, and like, I feel like I know the stuff, but at the same time, she could totally like trick us on the test, and so I'm a little bit worried, but my goal is a 7 so that I at least pass the class, and I think I can do that. I don't know. I'll have to memorize the theory stuff. But then after chem was lengua, and lengua was really boring because they were doing syntax stuff, like advanced syntax stuff that I don't have to know, nor would I understand it. Like, I was trying to pay attention and I did not understand it. So I was sitting there, oh my gosh, lengua took so long. 10 minutes in, I was checking my watch. 10 minutes in, I was checking my watch every couple minutes. And it was like, that was one of the longest periods I've ever sat through. And I was so bored. I was just like spacing out, like not paying attention for the first like probably 20 minutes or like half hour of the class. And I was like, wait, if I'm bored to tears, then everyone else probably is, which means they're probably doing something to distract themselves. And so I look up, and sure enough, there are people like, there are shenanigans happening everywhere. I'm like, people are stealing each other's pens and putting them in other people's pencil bags, or like pulling on their hair, or like pushing their chair, or like, yeah. And so then I just like watched what was happening, and it was really funny. And I ended up playing tic-tac-toe with the guy who sits next to me, and then hangman, and yeah. So it ended up being okay. It ended up being fine. And then after school, I got the ride home from Valeria, and then came home and had lunch. It was garbanzos, and it was fine. And then I came upstairs and listened to my audiobook and knitted for a little bit because I didn't feel like doing homework. And I finished Maria's scarf. Like, I finished knitting it this afternoon, and then I finished tucking in all the ends tonight. And I'm so proud of it because it's so long and it's so thick. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. And then I showed Maribel the scarf and asked if she thought Maria would like it, and she said yes. Like, she thinks she'll love it. So I'm really excited. But we'll see. We'll see her reaction in like a little over a month. And then, so after knitting this afternoon, then I tried studying chem, but like I just couldn't focus. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. And so then, by then it was 5:30, and so I called my dad to talk about the Stanford camps, and we have decided on 4 camps that I'm going to apply to. One is with Yale, one is with UCSC, so Santa Clara, one is like different UCs, like offered at a bunch of different campuses, and one is with Stanford. And so I'm going to apply to 4 of them and see if I get into any of them. And the only one with the application already open is the one for Yale. And so I started I looked at the application because it's pretty long, and it has some like essay and short answer questions. And so I looked at them, and I am not excited to start working on it because, like, honestly, the thing I'm dreading most about college is the applications because of all the, like, just the writing. And so this is practice, which is good, I guess, but not for me. Like, it's not fun. But it's good practice, I guess. And so I'm starting to brainstorm what I can write about for the application. And then after that, I changed and went on a jog, and it was just like an easy run today, and I felt really good, really strong. And then I took a shower and washed my hair, and then I went down to dinner. Before dinner is when I showed Maribel the scarf. And then I went down to dinner and had tortilla de patatas. And then I came upstairs and I'm recording this, and then I'll get ready for bed and go to bed. But yesterday I had all my stuff just laying on the couch or laying on the bed because and I realized just how obvious it is what my favorite color is. So I'll show a picture, and just maybe you'll be able to guess my favorite color. Just maybe, but it'll be tough. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so oh my god, has today been a day? A really bad day, and then kind of a good day, and then a pretty good day, and then I'm fine. But anyway, I woke up, got ready for the day. I woke up before my alarm. Again, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's annoying. So I got up, got ready for the day, went to school. My first class of the day was Valores, and I was just studying for my chem test that I have on Friday. And yeah, it was like pretty boring. I was just looking over a bunch of like problems that we had done in the past that just as practice. Just looking over them. And then after that was actual chem, and we were like, again, just going over for the test on Friday because I don't have chem tomorrow. And I had been feeling pretty good about chem, but then I had chem class and I was like, wait, do I actually know anything? So we'll see if I do. And then was dibujo técnico, but they had a retest, but since I got a 9.9 on the test, I am not retesting that. No, thank you. And so I had free time, and so I studied chem a little bit, but then I studied the rest of the problems that we've done this unit, but then I didn't have the energy to do anything else because I was so tired. And so I read my book just behind my notebook because I'm at the back of the class. And so I read my book, but so I'm reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in audiobook form, and then in ebook form I'm reading The Heir of Fire, which is a different book, obviously. And The Heir of Fire is the third book in the series, and the first book in this series was really good. Second book was it took me a little bit to get through. And this one is so hard to read. It's just nothing's happening. And so I was really bored. I was reading it and I'm having to force myself to read because I didn't really want to. And then I just stopped and just kind of stared into space for 10 minutes, and then was recreo. And since I've been bored for 3 hours now, I was like, okay, at least recreo, I'll talk to Olga and Carmen and Valeria, and that'll wake me up a little bit. But then I go to the classroom and none of them are anywhere. nowhere to be seen. So I'm like, great. So I take out my phone and I try reading, but then I can't get into the books, and I scroll Instagram for a little bit, and then I try reading again, and then eventually Rocío comes in, and so I talk to her for a little bit, but it's like not much because by then there's only 5 minutes left of recreo, and so then she leaves, and then math starts, and math was like boring, but then also weird, like we're doing trigonometry, like trigonometric functions and things, and for some reason every single problem that they did on the board I got wrong, so I had to look up at the board for help, and I was like, this is not okay, like I know this, why am I messing it up? And so then they moved on from practice problems to like learning a new thing, and so while they were learning the new thing, I was so bored. I was bored out of my mind because I had nothing to do. I was like, wait, I could literally be doing practice problems for the thing I kept messing up earlier. And so then I did some practice problems. I only had time for like 3 or 4, but lo and behold, I was able to do them like they were nothing. So I don't know why I was messing up earlier. Maybe I chose easier ones to do after, but then I tried choosing the hardest ones I could find, so I don't really know what's up, but at least that ended on a good note, I guess. And then was technology, and in technology, this it's all equations and then applying the equations, and up until now each series of equations has only been one equation. So like the Charpy equation is one equation, the Brinell equation is one equation, the Vickers equation is one equation, but then now we're on something else and I can't remember what it's called, but it's 5 or 6 equations for one like method, I guess. And you have to know which equation to use when, and which ones work together, and how they work, and what they mean. And it's so complicated, and I didn't understand it at all. And I only got done like 3 parts of a problem, not even like 2 parts of one problem, and then 1 part of another problem. But I didn't do any of it myself. I had to ask for help the entire way, and the teacher held my hand the entire way, and I don't understand anything that's happening in that class anymore. And so like I was kind of freaking out, and that class was totally miserable, and I literally almost cried in class because I was like, I have absolutely no idea what's happening. And so I'm hoping that I learn it soon, but I have no, like, it makes absolutely no sense to me, absolutely not at all. And so when he was trying to help me, he kept saying things that was like, okay, since you know this, then that. But I'm like, no, I don't know this. Like, where do you get the this from, since you know this? Like, I don't know what's happening. So technology was horrible. And then my last class of the day was PE, and PE was actually really good. It kind of turned my day around because I just talked to Valeria, Olga, and Carmen, and we did exercises. It was like arm day, I guess you could say. It was like tricep and yeah. And so it was like kind of boring. Like some of the exercises like hurt right here, and some of them worked my neck more than my arm. So it's like, I don't like working out at school. It's one thing if it's a weight training class and you're working out in a weight room, but it's another thing if you're in a normal PE class working out on the hard stone benches using your backpack as a weight. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. And so PE was stupid, but it was fun because I was just talking to Olga the entire time. And then I got a ride home for Valeria, and then I had lunch, and then I edited, and then I walked to the bus stop, and then took the bus to the train station with Amalia, and I got tickets for Mom and Cookie for when they come to visit me soon, in like a month. So I got tickets for them to Sevilla, and then I got it set up on the app so I can reserve spots early on so that we can actually get spots on the train, just to be safe, because I'm a planner, as you may have been able to tell. And so then after getting the tickets for them, I went to the churro spot that's like right near the train station with Amalia, and we split churros, and it was so good. It was so good because the entire day, my entire horrible day, whenever I was like just feeling horrible, I was like, it's okay, it's all gonna be worth it because I have plans to get churros today, and it's all gonna be worth it because later I'm eating churros, and it's all gonna be worth it because I'm eating the delicious chocolate sauce with the churros. And then we had churros, and I was like, that's my happy place. Like I love that place. Like it's delicious. And then after the churros, we went to the Asian store that there is. It's like a very tiny Asian store, and so I got Pocky. It's like a cheesecake Pocky, and it was a little bit disappointing, and there was nothing in the package, so I'm not getting it again, but it was good. And then I found La Piao, which I tried for the first time last Chinese New Year, in Chinese class, and I think it's like a Taiwanese snack because my dad doesn't know it. So like I didn't grow up eating it, but it's become one of my favorite snacks ever. Even though I've only had it twice now, it's so good. I'm gonna have to buy some to bring home for dad and Cookie. But like it's amazing. It's delicious. It's just perfect. And so then Amalia and I walked back to the bus stop from the train station. Like we walked to the bus stop near my house because I was like, I feel like walking, why not? So we walked like probably 15 or 20 minutes to the bus stop, and then she took the bus back to her house. And then I walked back home and just chatted with my mom while I was walking, because why not? And then I came home and chilled for like 10 minutes, and then Nella helped me study for chem, which I appreciated so much because I did not feel like doing it, and so then with another person, then it kind of made me study, And so I feel like I'm doing pretty well. I know the theory and I know the equations. I just have to practice applying the equations a little bit more, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I really want that 7, so I hope I'm doing good. We'll find out on Friday. I'm so excited for Saturday because, well, the weekend, but then also because chem test over. So excited to be done with this chem test because I just need to know my grade, and I need to know if I did well enough to pass the class. I just need to know. And so after studying for chem, then I changed and went on a run. And oh my god, guys, this day is out to get me, I swear. I did this run. It was the hardest run I've ever done because it was intervals, but instead of doing like the short interval was the fastest one and the long interval was the slowest one. It's like hard, like a small interval running really hard and then a long interval running slower. Today it was running a long interval fast and a short interval slow with like some rest, but still. And so it was like different than anything I'd ever done, and I was so excited to see the stats, so excited to see how I did, if I kept a constant pace, if I I wanted to see these stats more than other runs. I just really wanted to see the stats. And then I checked my app and the run got paused 5 minutes into it when I was still in my warm-up, and so the pace is incredibly slow. It doesn't show me my run because it got paused. There were no stats. There were none at all. And so, I was devastated. I was so looking forward to seeing my stats, and it was just gone. And so, I literally cried because of this. And, I am so emotional today because I'm about to start my period, and, I'm all over the place. I'm, almost crying in technology and then crying because of running stats. Who cares about running stats? This is one day that got erased out of many, 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 many days. I'll be fine. But it was the end of the world for about 5 minutes. Maybe 10. And I'm still incredibly disappointed about it. But, it's not devastating, But, why did my running stats get erased? And so then I took a shower. And then I went down and talked to Maribel about what a stir fry is. And so I think I'll make one for her sometime. And then we had dinner a little bit late today. We had it at 9:30. Well, that's it had been normal time, but then now we've been eating dinner really early, but then back to normal time seems late because we had been eating early, And so we had dinner at 9:30, and then I came upstairs and I'm recording this, and I'll get ready for bed and then go to bed. And I really hope that tomorrow is a better day because today kind of sucked. Just a little bit. It was sucky and then good and then sucky again and then kind of good. So let's hope tomorrow's just good. But yeah, that was my day. Hey guys, so today was such a weird day, but it was a good day, so I can't complain. But I woke up before my alarm today again, and I actually checked the time, and I woke up an hour before my alarm. I don't know why this keeps happening, but it's ridiculous. But then I got up and got ready for the day, went to school. My first class of the day was math, and it was just kind of boring. I did my own thing because they were learning things I already knew. And then after that was technology, and guys, I'm kind of getting technology. Kind of. I still have some clarifying questions to ask, but they're clarifying questions. They're not just, how do you do this? I don't understand anything. I have specific questions. And so it didn't take me that long to understand it better. And so I really hope that I keep improving as opposed to today just being a good day and tomorrow back to being bad. But I think I'll keep getting better. Hopefully. I really hope so. But yeah, I was able to do the problems like kind of on my own, kind of using the answer sheet for help, but that's better than being completely lost. So, and then after technology it was philosophy and philosophy. I actually love philosophy class so much. It's so weird because like I'm not a humanities person at all. I'm absolutely a STEM person, but I actually really love philosophy. It's so interesting talking about just everything. Like today we were learning about pessimism and about how some people believe that like there's no point to life basically, and about how like one person thinks that is like a pessimist because he thinks that basically in life people only make goals, and then once you achieve your goal you make more goals, and so you're never actually fully satisfied because you always have a goal that you're striving for. And so he's like, since you're never fully satisfied, then like something, what's the point of life? There is none. You just wait until you die. So that was like kind of sad, but it was really interesting to learn about. And then after philosophy was recreo, and I talked to Valeria, Olga, and Carmen, and it was cool. And then after recreo was lengua, and I was just doing my own thing in lengua too because I can't do the syntaxes that they're doing, and so I do this like fill in the blank type thing where it's like write like a rough tip. I don't know what it's called, but like it's hard and I only kind of get it, but that's what I did. And after lengua was chem. No, I didn't have chem today. After that was dibujo técnico, and oh my guys, this was the weirdest thing ever. Okay, so my teacher is gonna be gone for like 2.5 weeks, because of like personal things, and so he has to teach us everything that we need to know for this unit before leaving so that we can do the drawings while he's gone, which is crazy. I think there should be a better way for this, and so today, or maybe tomorrow, is his last day before he leaves. And so he was supposed to teach us a bunch of stuff before leaving, but he came to class literally 15 minutes late. I checked my watch, he was 15 minutes late to class. And then he came in and taught us how to do 2 drawings, but then I didn't entirely understand it because he was rushing and like we didn't get time to work on it afterwards, so like I immediately forgot how it works. So hopefully other people still remember because like I'm completely lost. Well, after explaining 2 drawings, he got distracted explaining how maps are drawn and about how like they're tangent lines, and about how when you have a cylinder you just like split it and then like unroll it, but then with a globe you can't really do that because there's no like flat, like you can't just split it because there's no flat thing to split it down. And then like I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but he spent, I swear I didn't check, but he spent probably 10 minutes or more, probably more, talking about how maps are made, how maps are drawn. And so like he was talking, and usually in dibujo técnico you have to pay attention because there's just constant information coming at you. But today I was bored, and so I was just sitting there like this and just like trying to listen, but not really, because he's talking about maps and I was like, I don't care about maps. And so I was like kind of spacey and didn't really realize how bored I was. And I was like, oh my god, this is kind of ridiculous, like what is happening? So I like turned to the guy sitting next to me and I'm like, what is he saying? And he was like, I have no idea. And I look around and everyone's like no one is paying attention, and it was so funny. And then I started smiling and I almost laughed because I was like, this is ridiculous. This man is talking about maps that no one cares about, and he should be teaching us stuff, but he's not. It was so funny. And then after I think it was more like 15 minutes, he was like, oh my god, I just spent so long talking about maps. Sorry guys, you guys should get me more on track next time. And he was like, I can't believe I just spent so long talking about maps. And everyone started laughing, and it was so funny. But like, oh my god, like he doesn't usually ramble, but today he was absolutely rambling, and he was just so into how maps are drawn. Like, I don't know if it's like a side project of his to draw a map or something. I don't know, but he was so engrossed in what he was saying. He didn't realize how bored to tears we were. But yeah, it was really funny. And then he ended the class 5 minutes early, and so that's 15 minutes before class that he wasn't there, 5 minutes after class that we left early, so that's only 40-minute class period. But then he spent 15 minutes talking about maps, and there was only like 25 minutes of actual teaching, but then he didn't actually really teach us because he was in a rush. And so like, this unit will be very interesting. We'll see how much I actually learned, because right now I don't understand anything. But it should be fine, because we're on the same boat. So, like, if we all don't understand it, then, like, he's got to teach us when he gets back. Like, it's fine. But then if someone does understand it, then they'll teach me, and then we'll still all be in the same boat, because then we'll just all understand it. So it should be fine. But then after that was English, it was supposed to be English, but we literally didn't do any English, because we came in. At first they were bickering with the teacher, because they do that. They bicker with the teacher. It's like weird. They were bickering with the teacher, because they were like, you said that after we had the test we would get a day where we didn't have to do anything and we would just have fun. And the teacher was like, blah 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 blah, and the student was like, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh my god. And that went on for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then they started complaining about the chemistry teacher, because everyone hates the chemistry teacher. She doesn't teach, and she's like kind of rude, honestly. And because the English teacher is our tutora, which is like our homeroom teacher, and so if you ever have any problems, that's who we talk to. And so they were complaining about the chem teacher. They complained about the chem teacher for literally 40 minutes, I think. Just like, one person raised their hand, oh yeah, and this happened, and one person raised their hand, and this, one person raised their hand, and she doesn't do any of this, but she does this, and it's horrible, at literally 40 minutes. And then we moved on to talking about how no one understands lengua, because they'd never taken syntax before, which I don't believe, because they've definitely taken syntax before. But like, they're complaining about how like they don't know how to do it, but then it's not the teacher's fault, because the teacher's trying his best. They just don't understand it because they've never taken it before, but it's not his fault because he's just teaching what he has to teach. And then they talked about the PE teacher a little bit, and so we spent the entire class period just talking about teachers, bickering. We did not do anything remotely English related, and it was great. It was great, because I was just there for the gossip, honestly. I'm sorry, but I love hearing people rant about other people. Like, it's just so entertaining to me. Like, it's just very entertaining. And what's really funny to me is that the teacher was like, I don't want to hear the gossip, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is separate from what we were telling her about the teacher, because, like, that's important. She needs to hear our feedback. But, like, she said something about how, like, she doesn't need to know all the gossip. She doesn't like gossip, whatever, but she seems like such the gossiping type. I don't know what she was talking about. So it was kind of funny. But then after school, I just came back home, and then I had lunch, and then I studied chemistry for like an hour or a little bit longer, and I'm feeling fairly confident. I have all the equations memorized, and I have I understand all the theory, and I did a lot of practice problems, and so like I feel pretty confident, but I realized there's no way to know, because I could totally see my chemistry teacher just tricking us on the test. So like, we'll see. I just can't wait until tomorrow night when the test is over and I can just relax and eat my ice cream, because I'm getting ice cream tomorrow with friends. And so yeah, I feel good about chem, but then that makes me worried that I'm not gonna do well, because like, I don't know, but we'll see. And then I went on a walk and talked to my mom, and I came back and did lengua. So I read La Celestina and answered a question, and and then I edited, and then I got ready for bed, and then I got started on a scarf for Yulet, and I'm so excited about the pattern. And then I went downstairs and knitted a little bit more, and then I had dinner, and then I came upstairs and I'm recording this, and then I'll get ready for bed and read and go to bed. And my book has improved slightly, so we'll see. I really hope it keeps improving, but don't worry, I'll keep you updated. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was a good day, but now I'm in a rush because I'm really stressed about sleep, because I keep waking up before my alarm. I have not slept until my alarm a single day this week, let alone sleeping in till Nella's alarm. Like, usually I sleep until Nella's alarm, and then sometimes I can fall back asleep until my alarm, but then sometimes I'm just laying in bed, but I keep waking up an hour before my alarm, and it's ridiculous, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm a little bit stressed about sleep. But today was a good day. It was a fairly good day. I had English first, and I don't remember what I did. I maybe studied for chem, and then was dibujo técnico, and my teacher was gone because it was his first day gone because he has some kind of personal thing, and so we had guardia. and I tried working on the drawing, but then I wasn't entirely sure how to do it, and then I couldn't ask anyone because they were just studying for the chem test. So then I read for a little bit, and I studied a little bit of chem, and then it was the end of class, and so then was technology, and technology was good. I am getting better and better today. So yesterday, I did the problems, like, I needed help for most of them, honestly. I was being optimistic yesterday, but I needed help for, like, pretty much all of them, just, like, even just hints from the answer sheet, but I still, like, I needed some help, but I understood what I was doing at least, which was better than Wednesday, but then today, I did, I think, 2 whole problems, like, I think it was 2 problems with, like, one had 2 parts and one had 1 part, and I did it almost completely on my own. One of them I messed up because I said it was 50 millimeters instead of 0.5 millimeters, but, like, I did the entire process on my own, and I didn't have to look it up at all. Like, I used the equations for reference because I don't have the equations memorized, but it's not like I had to look at the steps, and so I'm feeling like, I feel really good about that. And after that was recreo, and I spent it with Valeria, Olga, and Carmen, and it was cool. We were just talking, or really they were talking, and I was kind of there. Some days I'm more talkative, some days I'm not. But then recreo ended, and I had math, and math was like, it was okay. We did practice problems, and I was reminded a little bit more about trig because I've forgotten a lot of the pre-cal I learned, which is making me a little bit worried for calculus. I really hope I'm okay. We'll see. And then, yeah, they were doing practice problems, and they were going so slow, but oh well. And then after math was chem, I had the chem test, and it was 5 questions, and I feel like, okay, I definitely think I passed, but I don't know if I passed with a 7 or higher, which, would make me pass the class, like the entire class. I feel like I could have gotten a 7. I could have very well gotten a 7, or potentially I could have gotten an 8, or I could have gotten a 6 or a 5. Like, it's really hard to tell. I definitely got 2 parts wrong, so, like, 2/3 of a problem, so, like, that's I definitely got some things wrong. That's at least 4/3 that I got, that's at least 4/3 of a point that I missed. And so, yeah, but we'll see. I think one of the theory ones, at least one of the theory ones, because it's hard to explain theory in Spanish, but I think one of the theory ones I got wrong, and then the other 2, we'll see. But I really do think I passed, so I'm very anxious to see my score. And then after that was lengua, and in lengua, my teacher told me to bring earbuds a couple days ago because he wanted to show, he didn't even say what, he just said, hey, bring earbuds tomorrow for school, and so I was like, okay. And today, he gave me his computer, and I was just instead of paying attention to the lesson, I was watching this video on zambombas, which is like the instrument. It's like a percussion instrument kind of that they use a lot in Christmas and for like flamenco, and yeah, or maybe not flamenco, maybe it's just Christmas. But I watched it like a 13-minute video, and it took me an hour because there were questions that I had to answer too. But it was cool. It was better than just listening to his lessons, so that was cool. And the guy next to me helped me a little bit because they said like La Iglesia San Dioniso or something. But I put a T instead of a D, and I missed an I, and so I was like, hey, like, is this a thing? He was like, oh no, I think you're talking about this, and then he helped me spell it out right, because there were no subtitles, and so I was like, cool, thanks. And then after lengua, and I just came home, and I had lunch, and then I got straight to homework. I did homework. I did math for like 45 minutes, and I did the thing that's due next Friday, and then so like a week from today. And that took 45 minutes, and then I did half an hour of lengua, and so now I just have one more act, and it's a question to answer before next Monday. Like, not this coming one, but the one after. But I just want to get it over with because then I have a test soon too. So then I'd rather get this over with so I can focus my energy on just studying for tests. And then after that, then I went on a jog. I was on a tight time schedule today. I went on a jog. It was like just a 15-minute jog. And then I came in and took a shower and washed my hair. And then right after I took my shower, then I left for the bus stop because I was meeting Molly and Valeria on the bus to go to the center to get ice cream. But then also it just so happened that they were turning on the lights today because there are like lights all over, and there's like a Christmas tree of lights, which I wasn't expecting, but that was a cool surprise. But since the lights were turning on today, everyone was going to see them, and so the bus was packed. I was one of the last 5 stops that they picked up passengers on, and then the rest of the 5 or 10 that were left, they just couldn't take anyone else because the bus was completely full. It was so full. Every time the doors opened, I had to squeeze into the person next to me because there just wasn't room on the bus. And so I took a picture of my feet, and so you can see how squished we are at the feet, but I didn't want to take a picture of a bunch of strangers' faces because I feel like that's an invasion of privacy. But yeah, it was crazy. And then we went to the center, and it was so packed. That was the busiest I've ever seen the center, and it was crazy. But the lights were really pretty. So I walked around with Molly and Valeria and got ice cream, and I got pistachio ice cream, and I got carrot cheesecake ice cream. And oh my god, those were so good. That was the best combination, the best ice cream flavors I've ever had. It was so good. And we walked around for an hour or maybe a little bit longer, and then we just came home because I have to get up early tomorrow to catch the train to go to Sevilla. And so I came home, and I came home at 8:30 or 9, and I talked to my dad a little bit about the essay questions for the Yale application. And then I went down to dinner, and I had pizza, just like a frozen pizza, not a homemade pizza, but that's okay. And then it was still good. And then I ate my apple because you have to have fruit after every meal. And then I came upstairs and I talked to my mom, and then I got ready for bed, and then I'm recording this, and then I'll read and then go to bed. And oh my god, guys, I'm stressed. I think you can tell. You can definitely tell. But I'm stressed because I keep getting 7.5 hours of sleep, which, okay, for an adult, maybe that's oh my gosh, I wish I got 7.5 hours of sleep. But for teenagers, for a teenage girl, you're supposed to get, according to Miss Hartzo, 9th grade health, you're supposed to get 9.25 hours of sleep. And so 7.5 is nearly 2 hours less than how much I'm supposed to be getting. And okay, I know that it's not realistic to get 9 hours of sleep every night, especially not on a school night, but I would hope to at least get 8 or 8.5. At home I probably get 9, or no, honestly, at home I probably get 8.5, but here 7.5, and it's ridiculous. And I don't know why I keep waking up early, but honestly, tomorrow I'm probably gonna wake up early, and I have to get up at 7:45, so I'm stressed. I'm a little bit stressed, but tomorrow will be really fun, so it'll all be worth it. It better be worth it. It'll be worth it. Sevilla is going to be really cool. But yeah, that was my day, and that was my week. Sorry I was so rushed today.